Good morning. Welcome back to our How To Corner. My name is Will Gray. In today's episode, we'll be talking about building healthy mental habits while going through physical therapy and why that's important. Before we get started, please like, share, subscribe, as well as comment. Let us know what you think about the episode and let us know is there anything you want us to talk about or to cover. And with that, let's get going. So, the agenda for today is we're going to talk about the importance of mental health while going through therapy, the positive and negative mental health habits that you need to have, some things you need to avoid, and then trusting the process of process of physical therapy. Now, the connection between physical and mental health. Now, there's a massive connection when you think about healing, right? When you're trying to heal, your mental health impacts your physical just as much. And so you rather be very careful about it because some of the struggles that come with that, people are get depressed, have anxiety, fear of re-injury, failure, they have low motivation. Also, the loss of independence, mobility. Some people can't deal with that, and the chronic pain and frustration they have because of the injury they're going through. Right now, the challenges that are faced during therapy can contribute to all of those physical and mental things that you struggle with. And those challenges come in the forms of setbacks, slow progression. I think some people watch other people's progression or their healing and think it's going to be theirs. And that tends to limit them in the sense of trying to heal because what you really have to do is fall in love with a process, right? You also have the dealing with the pain and the physical limitations, not being able to do what you want to do, hurting, and also the oscillation that happens and loss of routine. When you have an injury, a lot of people go into isolation. Now, sometimes it's not even intentional. Sometimes it's just a situation where you pretty much can't go anywhere. So you're at the house by yourself, right? Or you're in a situation where you are really away from your family, so you kind of have to get to where you're going and get back home or get to your space, and then you by yourself again. And then that loss of routine, you can't do what you normally would do. Financial and time related stress. Some people do have a financial stress with that when they're injured, when you can't go to work because you're injured. But also with that, you have a situation where you can't really control your day. So there's a lot of time related stress where how I'm going to get where I'm going on time and how I'm going to get back from that. And then just dealing with the whole recovery process and how long it's going to take for me to get back. So, setbacks, social isolation, and stress. These are some pillars within the challenges faced during physical therapy that I think we have to always keep in mind. Remember, setbacks. For every comeback, there is a minor setback. There always will be that. Social isolation, not being able to go and do as you once were able to do, right? That is a tough thing. Stress, worrying about things you cannot control because you can't control everything. So those three pillars are something to keep in mind if you're going through therapy and you're struggling to be able to overcome the mental piece that affects your physical. Now, understand the importance of routine. Like I said before, you have to have a routine. You have to create one. It is super important to have a daily routine while going through therapy. This allows you to focus on other things other than injury, which which is important when you're rehabbing. While some injuries restrict patients from doing certain tasks, listen, it's still important to have a routine. You got to structure your day. If you don't structure your day, you're going to fall in these negative habits, right? Sleeping too much, not moving, not doing in your recovery, not being around your family. Your spirit is going to be shifted, not going outside to get some sun on your face. So you got to have some type of structure. Wake up in the morning, wash my face, get my food. I gotta go sit in the front room. Maybe I hop on the game. Maybe I hop on the phone. Whatever. Like you gotta have a routine. I'm gonna do exercise around this time, ice around this time, heat around that time, whatever. Right? Because those positive habits boost your self esteem and then your motivation. Those negative habits really pulled from those. So you gotta have that structured routine to create that more positive feel to be able to help facilitate your mental. Right? Now, benefits of healthy and mental habits. I talked about those before earlier in this talk. Really simple. Just improving your mental health leads to an improved, emotional stability and well-being. Is vital for doing therapy. These habits help reduce stress, enhance your actual ability to focus, promote stronger long relationships in the people with the clinic because that relationship with your therapist is one of the most important relationships. That relationship is super important. Now, investing in mental habits can transform how you approach challenges and create a foundation for long-term success. A lot of times, this particular injury leads you on a path of being able to try to recover, right? So that recovery puts you in a space when you meet other obstacles outside of rehab, just life related. You are so mentally structured to be able to overcome those. Doesn't affect you the same. So there's positive things that come from having to go through this mental trial of being in rehab and having to come back from something. The emotional resilience that you build, the improved relationship that you're able to actually develop and then enhance productivity, being more productive in a short amount of time, being able to structure things really, really creates a foundation of success later on in life. I don't think we realize how much of things we do can apply to different places in our life. Now, the common unhealthy habits, all right? So I mentioned that because I want you to be able to understand that these are some pillars of the unhealthy mind, right? Doesn't mean that you're wrong. It's just an unhealthy thing that you need to always stick to and remember that these are some things that you're doing that you need to get off of. Your mental habits dictate everyday life positive negative. That's true. Depending on your mental habit, you will either reach your goal or not get there. Seriously, your mental will discourage you to do things. We said that earlier, right? We're just really tying back into that. Recognizing and addressing these patterns is key to fostering a healthier mindset. That's true. Now, the pillars that are actually of importance is overthinking, being impatient, feeling sorry for yourself. Do not overthink, you know, of what could have happened, what mistakes, what issues you had. You can't do that. Being impatient, not trusting the process. I want to happen so quick, so quick. You have to fall into the process. Keep your head down. Don't really be concerned with people's process that's similar to yours. Be concerned with your actual everyday life. You know, finding ways to be not connected to your rehab when you're out of rehab sometimes help too. That's why I say get up, have a routine. But again, go outside, get some sun on your face if you can, right? And last but not least, don't feel sorry for yourself. This is not a fun place to be with injury. Nothing is fun about injury. But at the same time, you're here. So while you're here, don't really fall in that whole thing of like, you know, I'm just disabled and I can't do things. Understand I'm only here temporary. Think about things you're gonna do when you get back. And understand these are the common unhealthy mental habits that we have to try to work around and overcome. Now, here are some strategies to cope with that. Like I said, setting the goals, making it realistic, celebrating your small gains that you have, be mind, have some mindfulness, meditate. Also, journaling, right? Journaling, that's great. Write down what you actually saw in therapy and what you've done, what you got into, some stuff that's bothering you in the day. Incorporating hobbies and social engagement. Like I said, get up, go do stuff. The stuff you can do. Communicating open with your PT and healthcare team. Literally, talk to the folks that you see the most. Talk to them. You got to, right? Develop that actual communication. And like I said, you know, these pillars of the coping strategy is celebrate your wins, journal your stuff that you actually have going on, find some hobbies you can implement while you're injured. And this is super uber important to be able to get back, right? To be able to not fall in that negative sway, but stay in that part where it's positive and it's high, right? Now, the importance of mental health support and recovery. I wanted to include this part because I thought this was something we talked on throughout, but I really wanted to just nail it down, which is mental resilience impacts your healing. Okay, it does. This mental resilience we have to start to develop even if we were not injured. There are some tough things you're going to experience in life, some things are not going to be great, but you got to have the resilience to turn the next page, get to the next day, and press play and get back to living, right? That resilience will carry you. The psychological benefits of a positive mindset. Having that positive mindset, people say, man, that's just living in La La Land and Disney World and Skittles and rainbows. No, is no reason to dwell in the world of negative when you know that, hey, I'm going to try to keep living, so I might as well find the silver lining in it. Why? Because I have to keep walking forward. And the role of your therapist is providing emotional encouragement. Therapists, physical therapists, doctor of physical therapy are very important in establishing that relationship and providing that encouragement because they've seen every range of these feelings you have. So you got to ask the question: have you ever seen somebody have this? Yeah, man. This person, whatever did A, B, C, and D. Like, dang, somebody exists. Yeah, they exist. It's not abnormal. That's why them setting the stage early and physical therapists, I'm talking to you too, be a better therapist. Stop just coming in and seeing your people get to the house and not establishing some level of expectation with them so they can at least have some anxiety go away, right? To be able to have the comfort of, hey, they're going to try to really help me. They're telling me some things to be looking out for. So when it happens, like, oh, wow, that did happen. And then your support systems. It's very hard to have a great support system during these times sometimes. And it's not your fault. It's just family, friends, like peer groups like that tend to be a little bit fickle. But there are people in the family and in your friendship group and your peer group that really are there for you. And you may find your people during this time. I would like to say, when you have this particular fall down or this setback or this issue, you really find out who with you. I've had a lot of clients who literally claim to my clinic, and then we'll have the same conversation. And it's always the same thing in the sense of this person left me and this person I'm like, man, that's crazy. And I tell them, like, you're not the first. But sometimes it's a lot of times it's a way of the universe working to get you in a place that once you get out of this place, you can really go forward in life. Not just with your injury, but in life. So the importance of mental health support and recovery, not just physical, but your mental recovery and your recovery from issues within life. These are the things that are make you able to progress forward. And I think that, like, a lot of times we don't realize that. So I wanted to make sure that we understood that mental health is so important into healing. It's so important for us to get back to life. It's so important for your therapist to be able to support you in that journey. And last but not least, it's important for you to have this in you when you go forward, right? And hopefully, today's talk, you were able to get some positive from it. I enjoy doing these. I have a really great team and people who really help us do a great job, and I'm really happy about that. I have a great, you know, set of how can I say this, pillars around me too. And honestly, I couldn't do it if I didn't have those people. And it's only a few, but it's enough. So I thank everybody who listens, who presses play, the ones that don't press play. Eventually, when you find this, hey man, welcome. And if you got any questions, or concerns, please reach out at us on all our social media platforms. At 3Gen Physical Therapy on all platforms, as well as visit our website. Get to the contact page and send us something, man. We will definitely be here to receive it, and you just let us know if we can help you going forward. And with that being said, I hope you have a blessed one, and I'll catch you in the next one.